What's your name?
Richard.
How old are you?
I am 55.
Where you from?
I am originally from Cherry Hill.
You was born and raised?
hmm
Any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have three older sisters.
You the youngest?
Yep.
Wow. High school?
Yep.
High school you attend?
I went to Cherry Hill East High
Yeah.
School.
College?
I went 2 years to go.
Yeah. What college you attend?
I went to Rutgers.
Any sports?
I, not really.
Not really. How was life growing up?
It was all right when I was younger, but once I graduated high school, I had gotten married to my high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
And my father told me, well, when we got engaged, he said they're making the wrong mistake, and so did my mom. Well, she ended up pregnant anyway. I had a son, and what came down to, we got involved with, we used to do coke, snorting coke. That was my big thing back then. I mean, I would spend boogle bucks for it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it started in like the 70s,
Mm.
late 70s, early 80s and stuff through the 80s. I know that much. And, well, that went, and then we did get married, and that's when it started to fall apart. Plus, we got really heavy on it,
Yeah.
and things started changing, you know what I mean? She really got, but she had went through something else besides that. She was shooting, and I done mess with that crap.
Powder?
I messed.
Cocaine?
Yeah,
You can shoot cocaine?
I think that's what she did,
Uh,
but it messed her up, and then she started ignoring my son. And my son noticed the change in her, and I did too, between just our relationship. Well, this dude, Jimmy, he was the one he was a best friend of mine. He was like a brother to me, because we grew up and went to school together. And he's the one that told me she was fooling around with this other dude that we knew. So I said, yeah, well, they doing it, Plus, she started popping pills and all that crap. So I got more heavier into it. And then I started drinking. So that was just like to keep me more mellow.
yeah.
So then we got divorced after that. And I got custody of my son. He lived with me. And I guess it was maybe 3 years after my son got killed.
Sorry.
That happened. And then I went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I really got heavy on the drinking. I really got heavy on the drugs. That's when I started not only doing that and coke, I started smoking the crack. Now I don't do it. Once in a blue moon, I really do the coke. I like the coke because it's more pure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not really mixed with nothing. And I usually get it off a friend of mine when he gets it. And he call me up and say, "Yo, man, I got some for you." And I would get it. That's like a treat once in a while, And I still drink a little bit more. I'm not like I used to because I can't. My health went bad. I had 2 heart attacks, which I did. And that was because of the coke. I was way too heavy. My heart just couldn't take it no more. And then from drinking, I got cirrhosis of the liver. That's what killed my liver, and I'm actually dying because of that. And so my biggest thing is, like I tell everybody that knows me, I'm going to be happy one way or the other. I'm not supposed to do anything of that. I still take my meds and everything that I'm supposed to, and I do it, but I still drink. Not like I used to. Like I said, I won't mess with like the whiskey and shit like I used to. It's basically just beer. And I like the crack here and there. But I look at it this way. If the good Lord upstairs is going to call me home, I'm going out of here happy. I'm not going to sit there and worry about, and give up hope. You know what I mean? I'm not. Because you never know.
You sit there and worry, you probably die faster. Worrying.
Exactly. Worrying about it, they'll get sicker faster. And they kill themselves quicker. I think of it, hey, if he really wants me, there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to live. He said, live your life. and live it the way you want to. Because you only get one shot in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people, they get shot. You know what I mean? Things happen. They want to give up too. You don't give up. Now somebody else like that will give up.
Yeah.
They don't have that drive, and that's what I have.
Yeah.
You know, like my sister. Now that's another thing that me and her just don't get along. This one, she's stubborn, and she don't like to listen. It's her way or no way. And I told her, like, I've been staying with her for a while, and I'm staying, but I tell her, you know, you better enjoy what you got with me. Fuck that right now, because tomorrow I may not be here.
Right.
And she's like, oh, yeah, you'll be all right. I said, I'm telling you, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen anytime. Acid. I've done heroin, but I didn't shoot heroin. I snorted it, and I didn't like that. That high, I really didn't like that. That made me really sick.
Yeah.
And I popped some pills, Danny's, of course, and Percocets. I've done. What else have I done? Well, of course, weed. I've done wet.
Yeah.
And I don't mind doing it, but as long as I'm on the same page with somebody else that's doing it. Because if you do it by yourself, it's not too hot. I didn't like it that way, you know what I mean? So I had a friend of mine, we would always get high like that. So we were both like, we would keep in control to keep it normal. Because if not, you can go really weird on that shit.
Yeah.
And basically, I think that's about it that I can think of. What else? I think there might be something else. What the hell else did I do? Oh, I liked hashish. I don't know if you ever heard of that. That shit was good. That was it was like weed, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a great high. You were so mellow. I mean, you could be so pissed off at somebody wanting to kick their ass, and you would be like, I'll get to him later. You know, I used to say it to the people. I would be like, you just got yourself a free getaway. You know, I'll get with you later, but if you're smart, get the hell out of here now. But I'm not saying I'm perfect. You know what I mean? Nobody is.
Right.
I mean, I've done some stupid shit like anybody else does, but I mean, like my mom was my best friend. Like I could tell her anything I did. And when I lost her, that's another thing. I lost her 10 years ago, and I went up the hill. That's when I went back to the drugs, too. I had stopped for a while, and then I went back. And then my illness, so now I just don't, I'm going to live it happy.
Yeah.
I don't look at myself, you know. I've been in the hospital a couple times. I had a mild heart attack about a month or two ago. I don't want to sit down. I mean, my legs are painful all the time. This leg is numb from here to here. I mean, you can sit here and I can bang it and punch it, and I don't feel it. And sometimes this leg here wants to do its own thing. They want me, and I have a walker, but I refuse to use it. I said, no, if I can still make it with the cane or just the walker, the walker, and not the wheelchair, then I'm doing pretty damn good. You know, but I had my days. There's days I can't even move. My legs just completely shut down. And then, really, that's when the pain starts, and the pain up here starts, and it's just like it's miserable. And that's, well, when I had it, how I found out, because I was working at Aldi's, the food place, and my feet kept hurting me, and I'm like, why are my feet like, felt like they were on fire. And that's when I found out my liver was going. Because my whole foot swelled up. That's what was causing it. Felt like burning sensation. So I had called a buddy of mine that works for the Cherry Hill squad, and I said my legs, both my ankles look like balloons. And then he said, I'll be right there. He said, you got to go to the hospital. And then when he got there, I said, what the hell is this thing? He said, you're going into heart failure. I said, what? I said, my heart seemed fine. He said, no, but that's the first sign of it. It travels up, which means the fluid from this was causing the fluid, it wasn't draining properly. So it was filling up because what I was eating or drinking it wasn't breaking down. So it didn't know how to get rid of it. So it was putting it right back into me. And what happened, my belly was swelling up too. It was filling up. I got like a big, on my hands, everything. I got so big, it within an hour or so. And I was like, oh, this is it. I'm gone. You know, and I had this Indian doctor, and he goes, He said, trust me, you're not going nowhere yet. And he tried, the first round of medications didn't work. Everything, IVs, everything. Then the second round of shit they gave me, which I'm on now, it started to help me, but it took a while. I was out of that hospital for over a year. I spent more time in than I ever spent out in that 1 year. It was horrible. And even the nurses and the doctor said, man, you got something in you. You're fighting it. I said, yeah, it's not my time yet. Why does he want me? That's what I said. I mean, seriously, what do you want me for? You already took my son. Now, you're going to let me just, there's something here you want me to do. You don't want me right now. And then I just kept fighting it. You know, I prayed and everything. You know, and people kept telling me, my friends, says, man, you must have a heart like gold because you just keep going. I said, I'm not going to down myself. That's what the devil wants you to do. I said, I'm going to live my life. He said, the doctor said, the way I'm acting, I could live another 3 or 4 years just because of my attitude. You know, I try to do what I'm supposed to do, but you can only do it so long. You can't walk a straight, narrow pin just because they tell you to. I mean, it just doesn't happen that way. And it's just been really kind of messed up in my life. At 18, if I could do that all over again, I wouldn't touch anything. I would. Now knowing what would happen, you know, even people told me when I started drinking, you know, man, stop. You got to slow down. I said, oh, I'll be fine. But this snuck up on me all of a sudden. There was no warning. It just happened. There wasn't no, like, sick sneeze or anything. It just happened. And they all told me, you know, slow down in the drinking. And I just kept saying, no, no, no. But if I was 18 again, I wouldn't do it at all. I wouldn't touch nothing. Seriously. And I would tell anybody that right now. Don't get too heavy onto it. Do it moderately and enjoy yourself. But don't go nuts. Yep. And I would try to say, look at me, man, don't do it. Because this can happen to you. Or even worse, you may not be as strong to fight it. If it's a battle, you're going to have to fight every single day. And once you give up on yourself, you're done. You already might as well just dig your own hole because that's where you're going to end up. And it's serious. Every day, I'm in pain constantly. I got painkillers, you know, I got to take. Some days I have good days. I don't feel nothing. But then it's like it comes right back to saying, oh, I'm here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would tell them not to do it. And if they did do it, you know, do it moderately. Don't, like, you know, go crazy with it. Because anything can kill you, but you gotta be able to, and some people just don't have that drive. You know, to get and find you gotta find your own strength. Nobody else can. Oh God. With cocaine, oh, I had a hard time with that. Giving that up. I got sick from that too. You know. But what actually stopped me though is I had a heart attack the first time. And I didn't, that scared the hell out of me. I was like, yo, I already knew I was doing way too much, but I was spending like $300-400 a night. And I was doing it. You know what I mean? I loved that high. And what about it was, I don't even know why I kept doing it, because one bag could last you the entire night and half the day. Because it's real good shit then. You know what I mean? Nowadays it's that. If you get the right one, you're all right, you're good. But then you get some that it's not. But back then, oof. I mean, I was like blinded by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd work my ass off and my check would go to it. I mean, I had dealers that used to, they didn't even ask me for money then. They just knew I got paid on Friday, and they knew I was coming for more. They would call me on the phone when I was at work, and they'd say, "How much you wanting?" So they'd have it ready. I said, "Give me $200 worth, or $300 worth. Plus, I got what I owed them." And he goes, "All right." That's how they ever did. But I always dealt with usually one person. I don't like to go this one, that one, that one, because I like to get to know the one person, because then you get to trust them.
Mm-hmm.
When you bounce around from this one to that one to this one, you don't know what you're getting. This way, you make a good deal with that one person. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
have
that's
a trust.
cool. Yeah. And he'll look out for you, and you look out for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and plus, you can get him customers, and then, you know, you help each other out.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to do, you know? But I didn't like it where you had, like these people, they'll get it. If you don't have it, they're going to, you don't have it right then and there, I'll wait. You know what I mean? I'll wait. Give me a call when you get back. But that some people will just like, oh, now I need it right this second. You know what I mean? You don't, because what are you going to do? You're blowing your money and you're not enjoying your high. So there's no sense in even doing it. You know what I mean? You should just walk up to the guy and say, "Here, just keep the money." You know what I mean? And don't even worry about getting the damn shit because it ain't worth it. I'm serious, you know. But they go, "I gotta have it." But you don't realize that other person could fuck you really bad. This way you get a good pure with somebody and you feel comfortable with him or her. You know what I mean? It's a hard thing to describe to somebody that's already getting high, but that's anybody should do that. You know, like if he said to you, "Oh man, it's not a good time," then you don't sit there and ask him the reason. He just says, "Oh, it's not a good time." It means it could be hot around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's just telling you it's not a good time for you to come and get it, or for me right now. And a lot of people don't get it. What do you mean? What do you mean it's not a good time? They flip out. But they don't realize, well, you know, he's looking out for you by saying, you know, something's going on. If he don't have it, he would say, "I don't have it." But if he says, "Yo, man, it's not a good time right now," that means, you know, it could be getting hot around that person. Or, you know, there's always one idiot that can bring trouble around, and that happens a lot. Or you get one smart ass. Yeah, shit. I've had bad shit in my lifetime. And I'd call them up. I'd be, "Yo, bro, what's this garbage?" And he'd get, "What do you mean, what's garbage?" "It's good." I said, "Yeah, you want to try it?" I mean, how long have I been dealing with you? He goes, "All right, man, just come back. I'll give it to you. I'll give you it." I said, "Yeah, don't fuck me like that." He's like, "Hey, you know, I'm getting so busy." I said, "Well, you're getting busy, but not to the right one." You know what I mean? But it's incredible. My life has been messed up. But at least I did work, though. I mean, I'm glad I worked, because if not, I'd really be in bad shape with my illness, because I wouldn't have insurance. And nowadays, oh my God, I have one pill that I take. If I didn't have insurance, that one pill would cost me $2,500 for one pill.
How many times you take that one
I have
pill?
to take it 3 times a day. So if I had to, I would have been dead, because I could not afford it.
Sheesh.
And it's very expensive. With the insurance, I don't pay shit. Nothing. I don't pay for nothing. Not walker, not the wheelchair, not any medicine, any doctor, any specialist, nothing. But I worked my ass off to get there. I'm waiting on my Social Security still, but I got to fight the government for my own money. And that's stupid. Welfare, screw that. That's even another joke. What are you going to live off of $250 or $210 a month? In this, you can't even get groceries with that. It costs so damn much. I mean, like, you've got a van here. This damn thing would probably, what, almost $200 to fill this tank.
Yeah, and it got
because of the gas
tanks.
prices. Well, the kids need milk. And milk is outrageous. Eggs, come on. It's easy. You might as well get a chicken and
Yeah.
raise your own damn eggs.
So you say the drugs was better back in the day?
Yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah.
A lot pure.
Mm-hmm. Everything was a lot purer than it is now. You can tell that. You can see somebody's been doing it a long time. They can tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just know it's not. Back then, you got the real shit. There was no monkeying around with, because that was the only thing. That's why it happened, because they were just out for the money. You were out for what you wanted, and they just wanted to make money, and that's why they didn't. But then I don't know what happened. Then everything started changing as the years went on. Plus, a new generation's coming in. They're getting too old, and now the younger bucks are coming in, and some of them don't even know what they're doing. I mean, they're kids that are selling it. It's just you don't even know how to change your socks, let alone going to handle that shit. Man, come on, you're selling it. You're going to be the first one going to get popped. The first one, because they're going to act like they're cool, and they're doing it wrong. You're going to make a deal out there in the street, and you're going to not notice because you don't look or think to look to see if there's an undercover cop anywhere. And they got all different kind of cars now. But believe me, you'll know if it's a car that's not supposed to be around and it's doing funny, it's not. It's something. But they won't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking. Oh, I'm basically what they're doing is they're cool. They think they're cool, and 90% of them, they're the ones that are going to get hurt. And that's how that one works. But yeah, it has changed over the years. But if I could go back to 18, I would love to. Because I wouldn't do what I did. But you always make that. It only took one start. And that's where you go wrong. I tried it one time and damn it, I liked it. And then I just wanted it and wanted it and wanted it. And before you knew, you were hooked on it. And then when you couldn't afford that no more, you had to go to something else. Just so you didn't get sick. Whether it was weed or something, just something to take that edge off. Or, like me, drinking. Drinking was my other,
Coping.
Yep, to be able to get through it. And then I get hooked on that. And that's hard to quit. But I have slowed down a lot. But I don't crave it as much as I used to. So if I don't have it for a few days, it don't bug me as much. I don't get like the withdrawal shit. That's scary on liquor and beer, man. That's the worst. I think that's the worst withdrawal feeling you ever want. It's worse than drugs. Seriously. I mean, drugs is bad too, but the alcohol one is a lot worse. Actually, the pain would be alcohol. There was times I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even get up. Everything in the room wouldn't stop. It would not stop. You would be, if I was looking at you, I would be seeing like 10 of you, because you would just keep going, and that would be it. And you would, oh my God, and the shakes were horrible. When I went through cocaine, I'm not saying it wasn't peaches and cream. It still had its difference, but between me, I think the worst one was alcohol. Then when I went through, I mean, it was rough when I went through with the drug, with the cocaine, but I think alcohol is worse. They're both rough, but, it's not like, oh, I can do it. Believe me, you got to fight it. If you want to stop, you got to really, best bet is try to wean yourself off of it easy. If you're doing 3 or 4, you better cut it down gradually, because if not, you can have a heart attack. And alcohol is one of the major things that will cause heart attack when you go through a withdrawal, if you don't do it right. And usually they give you medication to help it. And even then, it's still, you're fighting it, because it only just relaxes it. But it still goes on. Once that wears up, it comes right back like a time bomb.
Alright, this was good, man. Nice talking to you.
You too, man.
Hope you keep yourself up.
Yep.
Stay safe.
That's it.
Any last words?
Just be safe out there. That's all I got to say to anybody.
Nice.